Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I am Frank.
And I am LC.
And this is
Live or Die. Hey, Frank.
Hi.
How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about
All
you?
right. I'm living my best life.
Love that for you.
Thanks.
What are we doing today?
Today we are doing retcons. I don't know why the robot was
Necessary.
the thing to do.
That's fine. But yeah, we're doing timeline retcons and how that's kind of become like the norm for bringing back norm.
Why did you say it like that?
It just was drawn out.
There's just drawn out. Frank been drinking before the podcast. We should do an episode where we do shots, some kind of challenge.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it. Remember you did the chip?
Why? Why? Yeah, and you didn't stop asking questions when
I didn't know if
everybody
you
said
were
stop.
real. I didn't know if you were real.
Even Chelsea was saying stop.
I didn't know if you were real.
You didn't know she was real?
I didn't hear her. I didn't know if you were real because I thought you were playing it up for the audience.
We have an extra chip for you today.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Why?
It's not my thing.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have an extra one. That was a test. You failed.
I passed.
You didn't. You were supposed to say,
I was
okay.
never going to eat the chip.
Why?
It's not my thing.
I did it.
You like to do crazy things. I don't.
That's why men die first.
You said it.
It's fine. So, retcons.
Yes.
Ugh.
What?
I'm not a huge fan of it. What we're talking about today in terms of like the timeline is when we have a new movie come out and they just want to ignore all the sequels that came in between and kind of do their own thing, which for creative purposes, I'm not mad at.
Kind of like Roseanne when it came back and it just completely ignored everything that happened.
Yeah, because Dan wasn't dead.
Yeah.
They didn't win the lottery. None of that stuff. So it happens pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
More so than I think people would think.
Yes, yes.
Happened with the new Halloween.
Yes, it did.
Happened with the new Exorcist.
Yeah.
It's all David Gordon Green stuff, so I'm not surprised he likes doing that. How do you feel about it?
I feel like sometimes they're necessary. And when I say necessary, I don't mean, this is not meaning that I'm advocating for them. Mm-hmm. But if you have a franchise like a Halloween that has just gone on forever and you've done everything that you can possibly do, and then you kill off the baddie, mm-hmm. it's kind of the only way you can bring it back.
Okay.
So I understand their purpose, but I sometimes don't think, I'm a fan of the 80s where they would kill off the baddie and then just do a new movie and not explain it. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
They don't really die.
I'm not picky.
Right.
Just bring them back.
So do you think them doing it with Halloween was better than doing another reboot?
So I'm not mad at the idea of a retcon in Halloween.
I just did it. That was the second time doing it.
Shut up. I'm not mad at the idea of doing it. Mm-hmm. I just wish they would have done it in a different place. I don't want them to have gotten rid of all they got rid of. Like maybe if they had just like did it and got rid of like 5. So maybe it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, retcon.
Well, you'd have to get rid of 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. I guess, then yes, because I love everything. I don't know, though, because I really loved H2O.
That's 7.
I know, so I'm saying I would
have to go. That
was
the first retcon, because they completely ignored Jamie Lloyd like she didn't exist.
Yeah, so that one, if we had just that one retcon, then that would have been fine, and we could just pretend like, I don't know, because they cut his head off, though. Oh, but it wasn't him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have preferred we just pick it up from there and just pretend like resurrection never happened.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
I would have been fine with that because, to me, H2O was just such a fabulous film.
I still don't understand the choice that they made to kill Laurie Strode in that one.
In Resurrection?
Yeah.
I think she wanted it.
Yeah, but it was
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Like such an anticlimactic death.
Yeah, but I think at that point in time, she was like, look, just get me out of here.
And at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be here for the whole shoot. Get me out of here.
I guess. But I think it would have been more powerful and made the story a little bit less ridiculous if they sprinkled like us just seeing her in the asylum throughout the movie. And then when he's finished with these kids, he goes after her.
Yeah.
And then you could have ended the movie with them having a fight thing. He throws her off the roof and then walks away. And then it leaves it open.
Yeah, I guess.
No, don't like it?
Mm-mm.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Gosh.
Why? You have no ideas. What are they?
No.
None. Non-existent.
Sorry.
Professor. Teaching the
Look.
youth. What you teaching them?
I said, I don't know.
I just told you my idea.
What was it?
Just act like resurrection didn't happen and boom.
Oh, that's fine. I wanted to Rob Zombie's Halloween 3.
We can act like those didn't happen. You already know how I feel
Yeah, you
about
don't
them.
like them. It's
I'm
fine.
not a fan of them at all.
It's a very acquired taste with his movies, stylistically.
Come on, acquired.
It is, but not necessarily. It's kind of like growing up and having an acquired taste to like banquet chicken.
He's coming for me with this because I like banquet chicken.
Well, I didn't mean it like that, but just something of lower quality that you're just used to, so you take it.
So like you and Spam.
I like Spam, yeah. Or the riblets.
The riblets!
The banquet riblets.
Yes, the banquet riblets.
Those are so good. I don't even care.
They are actually really good.
It's literally just a McRib without the bun.
I agree.
Ugh. $5, you get 6 riblets.
Get away from me. So anyway, we know that you hate retcons. You think they're stupid, is what you said.
I mean, I go back and forth, I think.
Okay, so then what's an example, in your opinion, of a good retcon? Or one that you at least liked?
Definitely the new Exorcist. Because that whole franchise is discombobulated. So having something that was like, because Exorcist 2, like the original Exorcist 2, horrendous movie.
Mm-hmm.
So bad. So terrible. Exorcist 3, it was just like a run-of-the-mill possession movie with Brad Dourif. He was the main. Yeah. And then from there, they did Exorcist the beginning, but also Dominion prequel from The Exorcist, because apparently they shot Dominion and didn't like it, and then reshot the movie with the same lead actor and no script changes, really. The TV show was great.
I didn't even know there was a TV show.
The first season starred Gina Davis.
What?
Yeah, it was that show was really, really cool. So if there's there's 3 ways you can watch Exorcist. You can watch the original run up to the beginning. You can watch Exorcist and then Exorcist Believer, or you can watch Exorcist and then the show.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I love everything that you just said, but to me, the only Exorcist that existed was the first one. I didn't get into.
You never consider anything canon.
I never got into any of the other ones. So for me, this wasn't a retcon. This was just the natural progression of things.
That's fair. But so the show, and anybody who hasn't seen the show, please watch it. I think it's on Hulu now.
So is this like an old show?
It came out in the 2000s, like maybe it's like 2010.
And it's on Hulu.
I think, yeah, it was a Fox show, so I assume it's on Hulu now.
I'm going to look for it.
It's on Vudu. We have it on Vudu.
Oh, what?
Both
Okay.
seasons. What I liked about the show was that it was a direct continuation of the movie.
Mhm.
Reagan's character was in it, but
Was it Linda Blair?
no,
Okay.
it wasn't.
Why did you say it like that? He could have just been like, no, it wasn't her. You'd be like, no, it wasn't. What?
What this did that I think I still can't really think of anything else that has done it either at all or as well to where I remembered, but we got to see the progression of the possession. That's hard to say. Progression of the possession from the victim's perspective, but getting to see what the demon does to them and how it tortures them and how it breaks their mind to get them to let them in.
Okay.
It was really good.
I'm going to check it out then. How many seasons?
2 seasons.
Okay.
Yep, both are on there.
Does it have a natural ending or was it like we canceled?
So I haven't finished season 2
Ah.
because season 2 just kind of follows the 2 priests onto like their next mission.
Okay, well, does season 1 have a natural ending?
Season 1 has a really good
Okay.
ending. So if you just watch like the movie and then season 1,
I'm fine.
full story.
Okay, got it.
You're good. It was really, really good.
So I have a question for you that just popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
What franchise do you think should have a retcon? Because I have my answer.
I think Scream.
Why and where?
So with this whole falling out with everybody who worked on 7 or was going to work on 7,
Come on, falling out.
if we don't want to acknowledge those as real, right? The way that I would approach it would be opening up 7 exactly the way we opened up 3, where
With
Gail,
Cotton?
where Gail is at this conference and she's reading her new book, and that was the end of the book. It's all fake, and then the movie would start with a Gail chase scene, which would mean Dewey would be alive, Gail would be alive, Sydney would be there.
Would do this.
So,
because that's the only thing that just pissed me off. Like, Dewey, really?
It was time.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I have to tell you guys, my kids, they watch the Scream movies, but I cannot let them watch the one where Dewey dies, because my children are such huge David Arquette fans, and
they watch
Eight-Legged Freaks 20 times a week, and I cannot let them see Chris from Eight-Legged Freaks die.
Yeah.
So if we bring him,
we've watched it together.
What, Eight-Legged
Freaks?
Watched
it with them.
No, you did not.
Scream, yeah.
Not Leah.
Yeah.
Or not Allie.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, and they just said, that's the guy from Eight-Legged Freaks. But they weren't sad.
And they were fine with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they kept asking to watch it. We want to watch the new Ghostface. Okay.
Okay.
They was all right.
All right.
Crisis averted.
I was really worried about that because I know how much they love him.
No, I don't know why it took me that long to remember that I watched it with them, but that's fine.
You're a little delayed. For me, it would be Child's Play. Because I don't need any of the things.
No.
I don't need any of the things that have happened after 3.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, 1, 2, 3, boom. Everything else is just a fun movie in the same world.
I am triggered. This is not a safe space.
Are you triggered?
Yes. Like, how dare you?
I'll say it again.
Don't do it.
Everything after Child's Play 3 does not exist to me, friend.
Wow. I never thought I'd see our friendship end like this.
Look, I mean...
What is wrong with Bride? Bride is like pinnacle perfection of the early 2000s.
That's crazy.
But you love Freddy vs. Jason.
I do.
Same director.
I didn't say it was something he did.
Clearly. What's wrong with it?
You
hate Jennifer Tilly.
I actually love Jennifer Tilly.
Then what's the problem? You got a lot of her.
I just don't think this is the direction that I wanted the franchise to go in.
Well, you're not directing it.
You're right. I'm not. But in this episode and in my mind, I'm doing exactly that. And I'm telling you what I would do.
I rebuke it in the name of our father.
Your father,
JCK.
Frank? Your father, Frank?
No. I mean, I can understand not liking the tonal shift.
It was so here's my thing. 1, 2, and 3 were serious movies. I mean, you have to suspend a little belief here. This is the magical realism that it's this little doll, doing all this stuff because of the voodoo.
Yeah.
But they felt real.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when Bride came around, and ever since Bride, they was playing around. Like it started off as
it was a movie.
Yes, they started off as a serious horror movies, and then all of a sudden they turned into the Leprechaun movies.
Kind of.
And I love Leprechaun, so it's not that I don't like that style. It's just that this is not what you set me up on.
Yeah.
So what happened?
I felt like Curse was a good shift in the right direction.
I agree.
Love Danielle Basutti in that.
Agree.
Getting her eye poked out. That was great.
I agree. Not the eye poking,
but
Danielle Basutti did a great performance.
The next one it kind of kept. I don't know. I feel like Don Mancini, who is the creator of Child's Play and kind of took over from Seed on, creatively directing, et cetera, et cetera. I felt like his agenda changed to where and if this isn't correct, I'm just assuming here that it is what it is. But I assume like when you write that first one, you just really want to get a movie made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's something cool. We're making a scary movie. Let's do this animatronic puppet. Like it was real. But the more fame and notoriety that Chucky got gave him creative freedom to kind of push his own personal beliefs and agenda and his voice into it, which is great as a creative person. But when you have an established franchise, the shift can be too much for some people.
I agree. I 100% agree. So I have another question for you. These are just popping into my head randomly.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears for a bit, because when we were talking about the tonal shift, it made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street
Okay.
because some people think that it had a tonal shift. I think it was so gradual that you didn't notice it. But I agree that if you watch the first one and then you jump in randomly at like
The Freddy's Dead.
or even Dream Child,
Yeah.
it's like, what happened? But it happened gradually.
It became punchlines.
Exactly.
Like everything was about Freddy's setup for the joke
Exactly.
instead of like being scary. Because 1 and 2, very scary. After that, like you said, it was gradual enough
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't really jarring until Freddy's Dead, because that shit was just weird.
It was a little fun time.
It worked there, and it worked for that character.
Exactly. Would you do a retcon on Nightmare on Elm Street? And if so, where would you put it?
I don't know. So the way that you are with Child's Play is the way that I am with Nightmare.
There are only certain ones you acknowledge.
Correct.
Which ones?
1, 2, and New Nightmare.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you can though, because
Mhm.
that's a complete, like, all that other stuff. But see, and this is why this Nightmare is my favorite franchise of all time, because I just think it finds ways to reinvent itself. But if I was doing it now, if I wanted to keep the Freddy character
Mhm.
alive, or at least just that idea alive, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say no one can, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I speak only for me, no one can be Freddy
Other than Robert.
other than Robert Englund. So if I loved this story and I wanted to keep it alive, what I would do is I would retcon from Freddy's Dead,
Mhm.
because now we know about the dream demons, and I would just restart with someone new. This is not Fred Krueger. This is somebody else, because after he died, they had to find someone else. You know what I mean? And if you find an actor who's great enough, and we
But
all
it doesn't
and
have to be a Freddy. It can just be a whole.
no, that's what I'm
nightmare.
saying. If you establish that this is John's nightmare, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? No one's going to be judging John harshly because it's not Freddy. This is John. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
feel like that's really hard though, because then you run the risk of kind of being like it, where it's transforming into just their fears, kind of deal.
Well, he still has to work in the dreams though, because these are dream demons.
Yeah.
So it's still, you get the same stuff with Freddy, but this is John now. I don't know why John's the name I chose.
Yeah.
But it's Johnny, I guess now. It's Johnny and
Johnny Krueger.
yeah, no, he's Johnny Smith.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So you have Johnny Smith now, who still gets to feed on dreams, but his story is different. You know, maybe he wasn't burned. Maybe he was, I don't know.
Buried alive.
Yeah, and what would that look like? He like all blue or something?
I hate you. Ew.
Or maybe he drowned and like now he's all bloated and like. It has to be a horrifying death.
Does it though?
I feel like it has to.
Okay.
Because, and he also has to have been a bad guy. So maybe he was a mobster
Maybe he
and he
didn't
was
have to be a
murdered.
bad
No,
guy.
he does. Because why else would the dream demons get him? The dream demons can't get you if you die and you're a Christian because you done went up to heaven. The dream demons are only in hell. So he has to have been, listen to my pitch. He was a mobster and he messed around with the wrong people. And so maybe they chopped him up or something and threw him in the bottom of the river. So now he's coming back all bloated and nasty and looking crazy and some limbs missing, dragging his legs or something. I don't know. But it has to look creepy.
Yeah.
But I think that's what
Yeah.
it would have to be.
Yeah.
It can't be Fred
Yeah.
no more. We got to go to John.
Yeah. Johnny Krueger.
John Smith. Okay. It's not Fred Krueger. This is John Smith.
Okay.
And then when John Smith ages out, we can move on to Sean Samuels. Like, we can keep this going.
I have to go.
We can keep this going.
No.
But that's how it can't be Freddy anymore, because I'm going to be honest with you. The Nightmare movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street, was not a bad film.
Which one?
Ain't that what it's called?
What?
A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Which one? The original or the remake?
The original.
Girl, I stopped listening.
One of
Sorry.
them is A Nightmare, and or are they both A Nightmare?
It's a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Both of them.
All of
I'm
them.
pretty sure the very first one is just Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the new one is A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'll just look it up.
It's right there. Right next to Friday the 13th. It's a nightmare with an A.
The new one.
The old one.
Where is that?
Right there.
Oh. I can't see that far. I'll just have to trust you. I won't trust you.
Wow. It's not like I've seen it or anything.
Mm-mm. Okay.
It's never been Nightmare on Elm Street. It's always A Nightmare on Elm Street. All of them have the A in it. Because when I alphabetize the movies, it goes in the A's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I'm right. You can say it.
Right.
Tell the people.
Michael Bay.
He produced Platinum Dunes did all those remakes that came out around the same time.
Well, anyway, I'm talking about the one that wasn't the one that wasn't Robert Englund. It was not a bad film, but that wasn't my Freddy.
He was my Freddy. Countless problems with that movie.
You think there was countless problems?
Problems. But I thought he was great as Freddy. The script let everyone in that movie
I thought the script was fine. I didn't like Rooney Mara in this role.
I didn't like her in that role. One, she didn't want to take the role. And then two, after she was like, oh, it made me want to quit acting.
I felt it. I felt her not having a good time.
She did not want to be there.
I don't.
My problem.
We need to retcon it.
My problem with that one is that we spent half the movie with the blonde girl just for her to die and then us follow Nancy.
Well, they did that in the original.
No, Tina died very quickly in the original.
We got Tina for
but
20
Nancy
minutes.
Was always there front and center.
You're right. Nancy came out of nowhere in this one. I will agree with you.
That was my problem.
I didn't want this Nancy. I just really love Heather Langen's. But this is the problem with a classic. You don't touch the classic. It's like somebody coming up and being like, hey, I'm going to remake Goonies.
Yeah.
Well, this movie's already dead to me because it's remaking Goonies.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? Or somebody saying, I'm going to remake Back to the Future.
Okay, but what if they
do
a sequel to the classic?
If they do a sequel to a classic, I'm here for it. Like come on, please do a Goonies
that
sequel.
Falls right in line of like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Exactly.
Was what I would, but that didn't really retcon anything.
It didn't.
Except the girl one.
I don't know. Let's get back to... I gave you my movie that I would fix.
Okay.
It'd be Nightmare. I'd started with the Dream Demons and I'd introduce John Smith.
Yeah.
What would you retcon? You had all this time to think about it while I was talking about John Smith.
Well, I wanted to say Halloween.
Sean Samuels.
That's what I was going to say.
It's been retconned. I guess mine technically has too.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
Yours was rebooted.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I think for me, though, I would erase everything after 3 and just start the end.
3 wasn't even real, so you can start at 2.
No, I like 3. Season of the
No, it can stay, but you don't have to get
but that's
rid
what
of
I
it.
want.
You don't have to get rid of it.
I said 1 through 3 are kept. And let Michael Myers go and just do the anthology
that they originally planned. Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
It would be cool to see, but then I don't know. I just feel like we need Michael.
Nah,
I don't know. I don't think I'd fix anything. I thought Halloween was a fine franchise.
Yeah, with 2 retcons and a reboot sequel.
No. I'm talking about the original run up until H2O.
Resurrection was the original run. It was the last one of the original run.
Yeah, that's the one I've removed.
I'm not mad at that because it had a nice ending for her.
We didn't need Busta Rhymes in Resurrection.
Man, trick or treat, motherfucker. Like,
we didn't need it. And Tyra Banks. We didn't need them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot she was in there.
Yeah, we didn't need that
Dancing
movie.
By the cappuccino
we didn't need that movie. And Ryan Merriman.
He was in that movie for no reason.
He was the smart kid watching the live stream.
Oh, hell no.
We didn't need that one.
No.
I don't know what was happening with that. Like, we could have just ended on H2O. And then, if they're like, let's bring Michael back, then we,
No.
Just not.
Just leave him there.
Just leave him where he is. Like, re-release it in theaters, Yeah.
You
know what I mean? Like, find another way to keep him alive. Release a new video game. Just,
Anything else.
Anything but movies. Because it was fine.
I got you. But I think that's why it's easier.
Not you shutting me up. I got you. But I think, like, okay, you got me. I get it.
I'm so sorry. But I think that's what makes it easier for something like The Exorcist to do that. Because the villain, you never really see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it can be any demon, any person,
Yeah.
and it can just continue the story.
But I hear you. But
I gotcha.
but I think to me though, that's why it's so much easier to keep cranking out. What's going on with your head over there?
I'm just looking at you.
I think that's weird.
I won't look at you.
You weird. I think that's what makes it easier though to keep. This is crazy. Acknowledge me. I think that's what makes it easier to keep doing a Halloween or a Friday versus, or even a Child's Play versus like a Leprechaun or a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Because it's like we kind of need it to be this man in the makeup. Yes, and even with Pinhead, because when that one came out where it was a different Pinhead, he looked crazy to me.
But
I was like, "Who is this man?"
That one that they did was
this ain't him.
But the one that they just released like last year on Hulu, that girl who played Pinhead, fantastic.
Really,
so much better. Okay, I did not.
In the fake man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was on par with Doug Bradley.
Okay.
Or yeah, that's his name. Maybe.
I think that's his name.
I think that's his name. She was just as good. And it had a more cohesive story. So you really understood like where the Cenobites were coming from, what they were trying to do. Like it just made more sense. It gave all the background stuff that you like.
I love a good background story.
Right. But
I hear you.
With Exorcist the Believer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It got rid of all that stuff. But it also, I think, showed us something that I hadn't really seen before, which is the double possession.
Mm-hmm.
That I really, really enjoyed.
That was enjoyable, and the ending was just so crazy.
Yeah. It was, I mean, spoiler.
No spoiler. Wait.
It's been out.
It has been out. Y'all had some time.
Right. But when the white daddy chose to save his white daughter.
He's saying it like this because...
And then the black dad
has to be explained
thought that
like
his
this.
daughter was dying, and then the demon tricked them and swapped it like that.
Let me set it up because yours sounded crazy. So in the film, there are two families. There is a white family and a black family. And what happens is the girls are friends and they are supposed to be, I think, sleeping over at one of the girls' house.
They were doing homework.
Yeah, they were supposed to be doing homework. But what they did is they ran out into the woods because the black girl's mother has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And her friend is trying to help her do like some kind of spiritual connection thing.
Yep.
And so they end up opening a portal for the demons to come in. And so now we have a double possession. And so throughout this movie, the family, the black family is like, it's
just the dad and the daughter.
Yeah, it's just and the dad is kind of like trying to work with the other family, but the other family is just like, this is some weird stuff. What's going on?
Yep.
Long story short, they finally realize that their daughters are not sick or, physically unwell, that it's spiritual. Mm-hmm. And they get to the point where they're doing this exorcism and the demon speaks through one of the daughters and essentially says, you guys choose whose life is more important, and that's who survives. Mm-hmm. And so the black dad is like, I can't make this choice. These girls are both important to us.
The other girl's mom.
Yeah, they're like,
they decided
we're not going to choose because the demon tells them, if you don't choose, I'm taking them both. And they're like, but we can't, this is not a fair choice. We can't do that. And then the white dad is like, I choose you to his daughter.
Yep.
And so the demon then says, I choose her too. Mm-hmm. And instead of, the demon does the opposite of what he's told them he's going to do. And so the dad essentially kills his daughter
by choosing her.
Because then she gets like pulled away. Oh, it is so horrible.
I like that in that
one.
It
was scary. I got chills just now thinking about it. We see the child go to hell.
Yeah.
They've taken her.
It was cool. It was a good one.
Good, fantastic film. And
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, those are the only two that exist, the original and that one.
I'm not mad at that. I acknowledge the beginning. That one was really scary.
The beginning was good. And I'm sure the other ones are good too, but
they're not.
I just know growing up, my mom always said that was the scariest movie that she'd ever seen. And so when she told me about it, she didn't say nothing about no sequels. So I just
you just thought it was
I just thought it was the one. And then I don't think
anybody acknowledges The Heretic ever, the second one. I don't think anyone ever is like, you should watch this. Now. The third one is always in the dang things where they're like scariest jump scare of all time, and it's like
Really?
the nurse walking and the guy in the white robe walking.
Oh,
right
I
behind
have
her.
seen that.
That's
yes.
from Exorcist 3.
Okay. I didn't know that it was called Exorcist 3, but for some reason I did not make the connection. I was like, oh, some other Exorcist movies.
Mm-hmm.
Did not make the connection.
That's fine.
But I'll have to check them out to see how I feel about them.
So with that, what do you think is better? The original Exorcist or Exorcist the Believer?
Oh, man. That's crazy. Normally in a situation like this, I would say The Exorcist, the original, because it sets everything up. However, this is just a possession movie. We technically don't need that one.
No.
So I'm going to give it to the new
Believer.
one. Yeah, Believer.
Same. And I think it's just for me because the original is dated. It's not scary to me.
I mean, it still has some scenes that disturb me now, even when I think about them. We all know.
Right.
Everyone who's seen the movie, we already know the scene I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's right up there with the salt burn bath. Bath
That's
scene.
fine. So, question.
Yes.
Exorcist the Believer
Mhm.
was greenlit as a trilogy.
I love this for us.
You're not going to love it in a second.
Oh.
That one didn't get great reviews, Believer.
Oh, no.
Got-
but it was a good movie.
Mediocre box office kind of deal. And then David Gordon Green has apparently stepped away from the sequel.
Oh no.
So now we don't have the director, and it's been removed from the
What?
release slate.
What?
Yeah. So my question is,
Wow, what's your question?
do you think movie studios should still be starting these things, right? Like green lighting, okay, we're going to do 3 movies and then it's like a collective 3-part story. So it's like part 1 and you don't really get an ending. Then you have your middle and then you have your end. But then something like this happens where it's not received as well, or it doesn't do as well as they want at the box office, and then they scrap it or change it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's better to just make a movie and with the assumption that this is the only one we're going to make?
So, great question, buddy. I'm going to defer to the 80s, as I do in every situation.
Yep.
And when they were releasing those movies, they didn't know how they would be received. And that's why you have a lot of final part this, final part that, because they had no idea. And we laugh at it now and joke about it, but I do honestly think that's the smarter way to do it, because at least someone is getting a complete movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I also think that was part of the fun part when you would hear, for example, after Child's Play 3, where he's just all chopped up, and then you hear there's another one, you're like, he was chopped up. How they bringing it back? I think that's part of the fun. Like, if you're going to bring this back, how are you going to bring it back?
Yeah.
That can contribute to the storyline.
Yeah.
So I do think it might be time with horror movies to go back to
Standalone.
We're going to do this standalone, and then if it's successful and there's room for a sequel, because one thing that I hate is when a movie is self-contained, and then because it does so well, they're like, oh, we gotta do another one.
Yeah.
Okay, but how?
Exactly.
You have to know when to call it quits.
Yeah. But see, that's what happened with Saw 10. It came out, got great reviews, did great box office, and before it was even out of theaters, they greenlit 11. And now, I mean, this is what they always did with Saw, but still, it's like such a quick turnaround that within 12 months, your new movie's coming out. So how much time creatively are you giving yourself to flesh out a story?
Well, perhaps they already had a story in mind.
Maybe. But I doubt it.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they did. It'd put me at ease as a fan.
Oh, come on. Put you at ease.
Right.
That's our goal.
That's the goal.
To put Frank at ease.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
I think it'll be a good one. If we were in this position and 2 of our children were double possessed, and
it can't be 2 of our kids. It got to be a stranger kid. They didn't have. This was not the movie. It got to be a stranger kid. I refuse to answer.
It's my question.
It's my choice not to
answer.
answer.
You choose to save one or let them both go?
It's got to be a stranger.
Why?
Because I'm not losing any of my kids. Take me, damn it.
Okay.
That's my answer. Take me.
Okay.
Like the priest in the first one.
Lame.
Come inside me. And my kids are baptized. They would never be in this position because those kids in the movie weren't baptized.
I think they were. Weren't they?
No.
Oh.
Because their religion believed in baptism at a later.
When they understood what it
exactly.
meant. Ah.
So this would never happen to me. Ha ha! Loophole.
Okay. Ruined my question.
Question for you, Frank.
What?
if, let's make it interesting, your two brothers were in this situation.
You know which one I'd choose.
I don't.
I'm talking to my brothers.
Oh! Do they?
I mean, they can fight it out amongst themselves, but I would choose for sure.
That's crazy.
I'd rather lose one than both.
That's crazy.
It's not a dilemma for me.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know.
It was a very good answer.
It was a very good answer.
It's fine. So, we've talked about a lot today.
We have.
How would you review the movie?
I mean, I think it was a wonderful film. I loved it. I picked it over the original.
Yeah.
I think it was just so well done. I knew it was an Exorcist movie. I knew it was in that world, especially because Reagan's mom was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like even if I had not seen the original or even knew the original existed and saw this one, I mean, I still would have put it together that this was a woman whose child had been possessed. You know, and I feel like it, honestly, I think this is how sequels should go. I feel like they should also stand on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
And this, in my opinion, 100% stands on its own 2 feet. You can come in knowing nothing about The Exorcist and appreciate everything that this movie offers. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion.
Interesting.
Why is it interesting?
I don't know, because like I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, did it really retcon anything? Because none of them are connected, really. Well, this has been fun.
I love that our movie for Retcon Week is not even a retcon. For the record, Frank picked this movie.
I'm not mad at what I've done. It was a fun episode.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so wait.
What? Halloween. We talked about Halloween. That's a real retcon.
Okay, so maybe... Oh. This is heavy.
Is it?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Exactly.
What was that laugh you just did?
It's no worse than yours.
I've never heard you laugh like that in the 13 years that I've known you.
You're not around me all the time.
I think I am.
You're not.
I kind of am.
No.
I was around you all the time for 10 years.
Yeah.
You never laughed like that.
You didn't pay attention to me.
You going through something today? I'll check on you after this episode.
Cool. Round us out
You
then.
need some water.
It's all you.
Because you're going through something.
I'll round us out.
Can't do it?
I'm so tired of you.
What's wrong with you? Come lean in. Let me see if you got a fever.
I don't have a fever.
Lean in.
I don't
lean
have a
in.
fever.
You feel a little warm. Let me feel your chest.
Get
That's
away
how you
from me.
chest, for real.
I'm lukewarm.
So everybody know. He's a little toasty.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Okay. Need some medicine when this is over.
Anyways.
You got
for
some
tuning
medicine
in.
here?
I have a lot of medicine. Leave me alone.
Got some NyQuil?
Yes. ZQuil, NyQuil, Sudafed, Mucinex.
Only take one.
I'm aware.
Want me to give it to you?
No, I don't.
Tuck you in
I'm
before
good.
I leave?
Thank you, though.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just checking.
Let's say
on you.
goodbye to the nice folks at home.
They worried about you too.
They're not.
They saw you having these strokes up here.
Okay. All right, guys. This is another episode of Live or Die. Thanks so much for tuning in with me and LC. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about it so that way we can keep going.
Yes, and I'll update y'all on Frank's health.
I'm fine. Bye.